Hey everybody, it's Jamie calling in. I'm so sorry not to be able to be there with you tonight. I am moved and touched, honored beyond belief that Carl Banner and Ann Becker have put this together. This oratorio, a word I did not even really know or understand until reporters started calling me about it. Thank you to Washington Music Viva of Tacoma Park, as well as Anne, who is such an amazing, mesmerizing poet whose work I've admired for so long. And thank you, Carl Banner, as the music director, for arranging all of this. I will see it on video. Maybe it's best that I can't be there with you tonight because it might be too embarrassing for me. I don't know. I never had anybody write an oratorio about me before, and I'm just kind of touched and a little dumbfounded by the entire experience. But anyway, um, I'm eager to check it out. I'm grateful to everybody for investing the time and the energy and love in doing this. And thank you for reading my book, and Carl and everybody else participating. That's meaningful to me. And thank you for helping to keep Tommy's memory alive and his spirit alive. I had agreed, actually, not even just months ago, years ago, because I think they were supposed to be in town more than a year ago, and it's been rescheduled. But you know, Little Steven and Bruce Springsteen, the E Street Band, have been very supportive of me through my various health struggles. You remember, Little Steven sent me all those bandanas when I lost my hair in the chemotherapy process. Anyway, so they invited me to come to their concert, which was supposed to be like a year ago, and then Bruce got sick, and so it's happening tonight. And so I'm going to go to that, and but I'm going to be thinking about the oratorio, and I'm going to get to see the recording of it soon. And I want to thank all of you guys for being involved, and I'm sure I would probably make a mess out of myself if I was there anyway. So, greetings, and I'm sending you guys love and thanks for this incredible honor. And let's get out and vote, and let's defeat the authoritarians and the autocrats and the kleptocrats and the plutocrats and the theocrats in 2024. And let's do it with a lot of music and a lot of love in our hearts. And thank you guys for providing it. All best.
One, I don't wish on anybody here having to speak after Jamie Raskin. And two, apparently I now have a feud with Bruce Springsteen. Powerful enemies. My name is Noam Feingold. I wrote the music you're about to hear, but it felt important for me to frame a few things for you before listening. So typically, I think as many of us know, in oratorio, we would expect an orchestral composition, and we would expect singing in a choir. This is a reinterpretation of the genre, but I invite you to listen to this piece as you would listen to a poetry reading with musical accompaniment, because that's really what you're about to hear. So I just need to say that what Anne wrote for this commission is a literary work that stands on its own. And when I got the text, I realized that my job was to work very hard to not get in the way of that. So I hope that you agree that I don't, as a matter of courtesy. And and also, I tried to underline some of the different poetic, dramatic, and emotional characters that you'll hear in the text. What else do I need to say about that? Not a whole lot, but thank you so much for listening. It's an honor to be here with you, because every composition only has one first performance, and hopefully that raises some awareness on how special it is to be there for the first one, and that maybe that's something worth going out and chasing. I think that's it. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it.
As an audience member, I'd like to say one thing, which is Bruce is cool. Most of us would rather be here tonight, right?
I would like to introduce Ann Becker, who created the poetry based on Jamie Raskin's text. And Chris Royal, a trumpet player and composer, with whom we've worked with Chris on and off for more than 20 years. And he's commissioned to write a piece for us later in the season.
Unknowable. Peaceful the room was, and every object in it, after all that would happen, had happened, and there were only objects in it. Soft cotton clothes strewn where they had fallen, where they shucked the body they had cradled, they contained, they caressed all the day before. A book come to rest, open, lying face down on the floor. No movement now, not even of air entering and leaving the lungs. No cell twitching, performing its functions, deep chemistry of metabolism, its elegant symmetry stopped. The body innocent, not cold yet, still seemed the same. The skin still pliable, still supple, except for the terrible static of the darkened room. Faster, faster, we are told. Slap, slap, the sound of our feet as we descend down, down, down. Slap, slap. Please hurry as we're shepherded this way, jostled that. Slap, slap, sound of our feet on the concrete stairs and passageways. Slap, slap through the darkened labyrinth of the Capitol basement. Slap, 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 slap. Who knows where we're going? Who knows which way safety lies? Slap, 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 slap. Curiosity I feel, and anger, but fear, I don't feel fear. The worst has already happened. I've lost my son. My pain, my wound, become my shield, my escape route. My son's courage, now my courage. His silent heart beat. Slap, 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 slap. Faster and faster becomes me, propels me into the coming fight. Flashback on 2 words from Trump's inaugural 2017, American carnage. On his first day as president, he was not denouncing it. No, it was a promise. And now he delivers. Hearing news flowing from people's phones, massive breach, outnumbered police pushing to enter Senate chamber, shots fired in the House. I suppress my anxiety, keep moving. Shots fired in the House, down hallways and exit ramps. I glimpse the rioters, the Confederates. They lunge forward in clustered groups. Whenever they come into view, we break into a fast trot that's pretty impressive for middle-aged politicians. But we slow down to let one colleague catch his breath. Arriving at the Longworth Building dining room, masked inside, we're told that we're exposed here. Back upstairs we go, 2 flights, now shepherded into the Ways and Means Committee hearing room, which feels much safer from the mob, but is perilously crowded for COVID times. Entering, we see that all Democrats are masked. The GOP members are not, Jim Jordan among them. They parade around unmasked and defiant. Their body language, their expressions proclaim their position. COVID-19 is a Democrat hoax. Quickly, I make my way to the library where there's more space. I see my friends Mike Thompson and Anna Eshu. Anna, seated at a long table with her iPad open. Something about seeing her gives me hope. She gets up and hugs me for Tommy, saying, "I'm so sorry." And then, look, motioning to the news. I see for the first time footage of the dense, writhing mob smashing windows and beating up Capitol Police with sticks, lead pipes, basketball bats, Trump's flags, Confederate battle flags, and I see, most heartbreakingly, one officer speared with a flagpole from which hangs the American flag. I thought at first the insurrectionists were slipping in side doors, one by one, but no, this is total siege with pitched battles all over the complex. Waves of hand-to-hand combat against the officers who greet us every morning and bid us goodnight each night. You can see paramilitaries storming the entrances, savage hordes of combatants raging, a struggle our security forces are clearly losing. How in hell do these people get into our building? For all the parliamentary scenarios I had imagined for this day, I hadn't thought of a violent mob attack. I am dumbfounded. The cops are armed. Why aren't these rioters shot on sight? What am I thinking? My daughter Tabitha, Hannah's husband Hank, and Julie, my chief of staff, are still in harm's way. I rush to call Emma Kaplan, Pelosi's floor aide. She relays the Capitol Police have evacuated all House members from the gallery. Diana DeGette, Susan Wild, Pramila Jayapal, Jason Crow. What am I thinking? The police will return now to rescue Tabitha, Hank, and Julie from Steny Hoyer's office, where there are 3 bolt locks on the door, furniture barricaded against it. What am I thinking? When I call Tabitha, no buoyancy in her voice. I tell her the police are going to rescue them soon. When, she asks, and my answer, I don't know exactly when. Where are you, I ask. Under the desk. I can think of nothing else to say. We saw them all coming up the hill. Dad, there are thousands of them. American carnage. If I could work. People keep asking me, how can I do this? But I was so grateful, beyond measure, to Speaker Pelosi for pushing me to lead this impeachment. If I could work, I could live as a congressman, father of a lost son, the only son, 2 living daughters. I could now take a stand with all I have left against the violent catastrophe that fell upon us, denizens of the Capitol, citizens of this democratic country, this republic. Always the ocean. We wait. We wait. Someone hands me the article of impeachment. As I read to myself, another breath, another breath. I confess I was drawn to the ocean. Oh, it's ashes to ashes, but always the ocean. We wait for the bell to ring to begin our procession. Lined up by the clerk of the house, me in the lead, followed by 4 pairs, my fellow managers, my friends, DeGette and Cicilline, Castro and Swalwell, Lou and Plaskett, Dean and Aguz. As we begin to process to the Senate side, the enormity of the moment seizes me. I am the one who lives with the ocean, ashes to ashes. Through Statuary Hall, the rotunda that had been trashed and defiled by Trump's insurrectionist army, I look back at my fellow managers, my friends, my team. Everyone had been joking before, but now grows solemn and quiet. All you can hear the staccato beat of our souls on the marble floor as we pace through the rotunda. Loud clicks of reporters' cameras punctuate our footfalls. At the main door to the Senate chamber, we wait again. The clerk of the Senate receives us, relays word of our arrival. We parade in, and I'm shown to the main dais and proceed to read the House resolution. I am the one who lives with the ocean. The article of impeachment, slowing down to speak each word with gravity. Donald John Trump. High crimes and misdemeanors. Wherefore, by such conduct, Donald John Trump has demonstrated that he will remain a threat to national security, democracy, and the Constitution if allowed to remain in office, and has acted in a manner grossly incompatible with self-governance and the rule of law. Donald John Trump thus warrants impeachment and trial, removal from office, and the disqualification to hold and enjoy any office of honor, trust, or profit under the United States. Oh, it's ashes to ashes, but always the ocean. We left the Capitol late with high hopes and Hollywood dreams that a righteous Republican whistleblower would emerge like a redeemer from all the scraping, know-nothing sycophancy permeating the GOP. But I had my doubts. Such a savior was out there, no star witness set to appear with the wave of a wand. At home now, sitting at the table to eat my favorite dinner Sarah had prepared, pasta with Beyond sausage and garlic bread, Tommy's favorite too, which I love to make for us together. Now gathered in by family, Tabitha and Ryan, Sarah's brother Kenneth and their mother Arlene, my brother Noah, his wife Heather, and all the children. Now I want to hear their thoughts on the trial, what the TV pundits were saying. Some predicting the Republicans would stand together, do the right thing, rid themselves of this dangerous abscess on the body politic. My fervent hope. Conviction was imperative for the Constitution and America and the GOP itself. Lincoln, the first Republican president, Trump, the last. Back to work. Upstairs, I begin preparing my closing statement planned for Saturday, but perhaps it will be needed tomorrow. Just then, the phone rings. It's Trey Gowdy, former Republican South Carolina congressman whom I had been friendly with, who always cracked me up. His resemblance to Draco Malfoy in Harry Potter so blatant, in my mind always I see him in Hogwarts uniform, cape and wand. First, to extend his condolences. I had been on his mind ever since he learned of Tommy's death. And then to compliment me for my work leading the impeachment effort. I'm glued to the TV with the rest of America. Last time I had seen Trey in Washington, we were saying goodbye. He told me my problem was I was a liberal. Damn right I'm a liberal, because the heart of that word is liberty. Progressive, too, I am, because the heart of that word is progress. But these days, I favor calling myself conservative. I want to conserve the land, air, water, the climate system, the Constitution, Bill of Rights, Social Security, Medicare, the Affordable Care Act, Civil Rights Act, Voting Rights Act. You guys can't call yourselves conservatives. You just want to tear everything down. That's radical. That's nihilism. Feeling myself falling into sleep, I hear Tommy's voice mimic Sacha Baron Cohen. He's not the legitimate leader. He's not the legitimate leader. Tommy's laughter ringing in my ears. Waking. Imagination of despair. Imagination of hope. My son fitted inside me like fascial tissue. I wake Friday morning resolved to live like Tommy. Philosopher, poet, perfect gentleman in debate and argument, listening deeper. I know I will be tempted, but will not give way, will not respond to every cheap shot, character defaming innuendo, rhetorical evasion, red herring, logical fallacy Trump's team lobs our way. Listening deeper. To model Tommy Raskin, full of enormous passion, who never lost his cool, responded only to people's best arguments, focused on substance. Nonsense fell by the wayside, dialogue moved toward clarity and truth. To remember his young wisdom now is heartbreaking. His goodness operating in a political arena full of such nastiness, listening deeper, as Tommy would, carrying him in my heart sack for whole hours, deeper, simulate his optimism, his hope, present his neutral face. The speed of democracy. Of course, begin with hope. 100-0 victory. After the violent struggle of January 6th, with these senators smack in the middle of the chaos, scared, confused, running for their lives. How could they not vote to convict? Why not 100-0? Of course, begin with hope. Not starry-eyed hope. I did the math. On January 13th, when the House impeached Donald Trump, 232 to 197, 10 Republicans, Liz Cheney, Anthony Gonzalez, Jamie Herrera Butler, John Katko, Adam Kinzinger, Peter Meyer, Dan Newhouse, Tom Rice, Fred Upton, and David Valadao joined every Democrat. This group of 10, large enough to create some feeling of mutual aid and support, represent 5% of the GOP caucus, sending a chilling signal. Could the party survive defection of 5% of its voters? People forget that politics in America is sometimes a game of inches. Magic numbers. Could Democrats get to 67, pundits asked? My honest answer is no. We can't get to 67, but with McConnell's help, we could get to 76. And there's even a decent shot of convicting Trump with all 100 votes. To reach 67 votes means getting 17 Republicans to join the Democrats. Unlikely, though. McConnell's chief interest is in keeping his power. No way would he end up in a group of 17 Republican dissidents, or any number constituting a minority of his caucus. We managers might be counting to 67, the magic number to convict, but McConnell would be counting to 26. A majority of his caucus, bare minimum for him to hang on and not be overthrown. 76 is more likely than 67, and in my heart of hearts, 100-0 is a possibility too. If we have delivered a devastating, overwhelming, irrefutable case for Donald Trump's culpability, and if Mitch McConnell has had enough of Trump's fascist mayhem, he just might convince all Republicans to hold hands and jump together. Trump spells not only a clear danger to the survival of American democracy, but also certain doom to the Republican Party. Surely McConnell understands this peril. Surely most GOP senators can see that Trump brings ruin and chaos to anyone who chooses to submit to his dominance. Even diehards can break from their craven, their cultish allegiance to him. All right-wingers crowd around Trump in hopes of inheriting his fundraising lists and hypnotic control over the fanatical nationwide insurrectionist mob that has exploded the ranks of the GOP. These senators could turn on Trump on a dime, and I think they might. It's a shot, nothing more, and we have to take it. I have to believe we can win, so others can believe it too. Saturday, the vote. When I finished speaking, I was flooded with feeling. At first, I felt I had lost Tommy. I began to think of the more comprehensive things I had not said about the practice of nonviolence and democracy, the demagogic disrespect for the primacy of Congress, and all the finer points about taking adverse inference seriously when a witness skips town. Tommy would have gotten it all in. Poet and philosopher, he would have been more inspired, more systematic. But he was his own toughest critic, and like me, would be castigating himself for his own mistakes. But this was the GOP's big chance to get rid of a criminal in their midst, one who was seriously alleged to be a violator of woman, a con man, a compulsive liar, corrupter of elections, inciter of violence, enemy of constitutional order and the common good. The vote began. First one for our side, then one for Trump. Back and forth it went, and by the end, 7 Republicans, Richard Burr, Bill Cassidy, Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, Mitt Romney, Ben Sasse, Pat Toomey, had joined every Democrat to convict. We won 14 more votes than Trump, but he had beaten the constitutional spread. No magic number. There was no magic number. Back in the war room, we watched McConnell on TV making his speech from the floor. There was no question that Trump, he said, was practically and morally responsible for provoking the events of January 6th. He kept invoking us, impeachment managers, what we had proven about Trump's complicity in the insurrection. But in voting not guilty on the jurisdictional argument we had defeated and dismissed on the first day of the trial, he didn't have the votes to convict, and he didn't have the votes to survive if he tried. Trauma is still trauma for creatures who crawl, and he didn't have the heart. Dear America, my son. What now, dear America, my soul, my son? We could have lost it all on that day the Capitol was attacked. Windows and doors smashed, Capitol Police assaulted, wounded, their eyes gouged out, and murdered while we ran for our lives with gas masks we could not use. Our nation, our democracy could have been plunged into authoritarianism, mass violence, and even civil war. Then I would have lost you twice, my son, my soul, dear America. Join with me now. I'm driven by memory and the spirit of you, Tommy, my son, wanting far more from our democracy, not less. We must express our dread of fascism, what it has done to humanity in the last century, what it does now, and the horror of Nietzschean politics of force, fraud, and will to power. Government must be an active instrument, a drum, promoting the general welfare, not just of human beings, but all living things. Morality must replace violence as the essence of power. For most of the history of the world, dictators, autocrats, bullies, despots, tyrants, and cowards were the rule. We have it in our power to begin the world again. Such a miracle, democracy. Such a fragile, precarious, transitory thing. Vulnerable as life itself. We, the people, our inalienable rights, our consent to be governed, in order to form a more perfect union and preserve to ourselves the blessings of liberty, amending the Constitution as we gain more wisdom, a wider vision. We started as a slave republic, but after a brutal, treasonous war of secession, slowly, raucously, through social, political, constitutional struggle, we transformed ourselves into a larger nation, a larger soul. We have it in our power to begin the world again. More poets and philosophers, more activists and demanders make of ourselves a way of happening, a mouth to begin the world again. We have it in our power. We must move through the laws of love and compassion to call all our sons and daughters, call all our mothers and fathers. O America, my soul, my son, my spirit, we are not lost. We are a nation, a family.